Hey, hey, check this out, man. Check this out. I'm gonna tell you, a really insane story about event in my life. So, there's this guy, right? His name is Walter Albright. Now, Walter Albright is probably like, have you ever heard the Bad Bad Leroy Brown song? Dude, this guy is more badder than him. This guy grew up in the 50s as a thug, kind of like a beatnik, but if you were part of the mafia. So this guy grew up in the projects, they were at the time, they were for white people. And so what happens is this guy, he's a criminal. His whole family's a criminal. And so, of course, my mom, oh, you're a big criminal. You're a good role model. So, they hook up. And this guy never treated me bad, okay? But, this guy, he's old school bad, OG bad, like go to prison and then be like, hey, I'm getting some parole. Time to go on vacation for a couple months. And this guy, at the time, my mom was probably doing the heroin or this guy actually killed his best friend. My mom had left him, and this guy thought he stole some money from this guy called Charlie, right? And Charlie was my dad's best, or not my dad, but this Walter Albright, the live-in Uncle Dad. Anyway, so this is, his buddy, and this is his partner in crime. And so when my mom leaves him, he thinks his buddy, ripped him off the money my mom took, and he gave him a hot shot because they're all heroin addicts. So he gave him a hot shot, and the hot shot OD'd him. That's this guy, in the 60s, he used to walk around, and I don't know if you've ever heard of a bull dick cane, but a bull dick cane's made out of bone, out of a dick bone of a bull, and then the pimps or badass men, walk around with it. So, yeah, this guy, man, he was crazy. I tell you about Walter Albright. Like I say, he was never bad to us, ever. So I can't, until much later when I almost shot him, when, I had to leave. But when we were kids, he wasn't like a bad person, at least to us. But this guy was so crazy, somebody gave me a box of beer bottles, right? And, the return is like 2 cents a bottle or whatever. So we go to this store where you drive up. It's kind of curved with a high shelf, and he pops a case of bottles up there. And, look, I'm like, okay, 8 or 9. It's not really a big deal. But then what happens is that, here at the ice house, this guy won't give us a deposit. Oh, my God. He don't want to give us 50 cents, right? And Walter Albright, he starts fucking hollering and threatening because this is a bad dude, man. He's not a joke, and fucking he demands respect, right? Big white dude, And so what happens is the guy tells him he's going to call the police, right? And so Walter jumps on that higher ledge, goes in, and there's 2 big doors, and then there's a door in the middle with a payphone, right? This man, he yanks the whole fucking payphone off the wall and throws it at the dude and says, call the police. I don't give a fuck. You give me my refund now. And then he gets the 50 cents or whatever, and he gives it to me, and we leave. Oh, man, this guy's whole family got murdered. Shit, all his family, they were slit up the middle and like thrown rocks in their body and thrown into the lakes. And, you know, eventually they floated up. So, you know, he was like the last one. But this guy, man, shit, in the 1960s, like, okay, he was pretty smart. He would jump through all the, back in the 60s, there was pharmacies everywhere, like it was Mexico on every corner. And this guy, what he would do is he would jump, get on the roofs, cut a hole through the roofs, and go in and steal all the pharmaceuticals, the whole store, like it's Mission Impossible, you know. And so what happens is the cops are onto him, you know, and everybody's a thief. Everybody he knows is some kind of criminal, you know. So what happens, the cops are onto him, right? And so they raid the house. And so what happens is they can't find anything. So they stick a matchbox of weed in a suit and you know, in the closet. Like, we got you for everything, pimping and fucking stealing pharmaceuticals. And dude, he gets a sentence of 20 years for the matchbox of weed. So, you know, after probation and parole or whatever the fuck they call it, he gets out, you know, and it's always some kind of criminal. It's always some kind of criminal activity. Oh, so like, the guy was a good guy, don't get me wrong, but later on in life, he was always showing up, you know, like when he got out of prison. And so he got this job from his uncle in Dallas, from his brother, right? And it was like a drive shaft where they take your drive shaft and they'd add a button on it and you have 8 gears instead of 4. So what happened, they hired him as a salesman. His brother, you know, gave him $1,000 cash and a company house. And it was basically, you know, here, have a job and we'll give you $1,000. All he had to do was pay the bills, right? I forgot what I was talking about. All right, fuck it.